From the heart of Barnstable, welcome to the Thursday, September 11th edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Len Gobeil.
The newly constituted Barnstable Zoning Board of Appeals met for the first time last night, and they heard an appeal from a Centerville couple. I'm Melissa Chartrand.
Margaret and William Abrams were represented by attorney Peter Freeman, who introduced the appeal.
The reason is now coming to pass. They have a severely disabled adult son, David, who I introduced. David has cerebral palsy and epilepsy and some retardation, and unfortunately recently is also blind in one eye. And he does require a caretaker. The Abrams, as parents, have always taken care of him. They had a plan that these applications reflect that they would retire to their home on Sachem Drive in Centerville, the home that exists, and that they would be able, because they intended and always thought the separate lot was still buildable, to build a house where they could have a caretaker family, because they are getting older and they can't take care of David so readily anymore. And I have some letters I'll submit from not just the neighbors in support, but from some doctors and medical folks attesting to Mrs. Abrams' back condition and things like that. The point being, they thought that it was a great plan to live close to their son. Group homes would not work for David, and it's a wonderful thing that they want to care for their son and be near him. They also had the good blessing of finding a caretaker who happens to have a family, and some of them are here. The caretaker being Kim DeLeon, who does a wonderful job with David, and she happens to have a family, which is why the proposed structure on Lot 3 is 5 bedrooms.
The house is relatively modest in scale considering the size of the family that's going in it. It is unique in that it's accessible all on the first floor for David. It is in keeping with the rest of the houses in the neighborhood, and the scale is kept down by its street facade is 1.5 stories, not 2 stories, just simply to keep the scale down and keep it within the looks of the neighborhood.
Mrs. Margaret Abrams told her story.
And thank you for listening to all our input tonight. We've been dreaming of a house for David for quite a long time, and it took 2 parts to make it happen. One, I had to be able to let him go. He's lived with us always. And the other part was to find a family who could take care of him the same way that we do. And Kim has worked with David for over a dozen years. And I know how much she cares about him, and I know the kind of care she gives him. And I know how attached he is to her. And so it's not just a matter of having a house and pulling some people off the street and putting them with my son. It's taken a long time. She had to, I brought it up with Kim through the years, but she had to be old enough, she had to have experience enough, she had to feel comfortable that she could take on another burden as well as raising her children. The picture that was shown is David with the youngest child, Jordan, who they happen to have this wonderful relationship. And the baby comes in the house and she absolutely wants to see David first thing. Even when she wasn't walking on her own, she wanted to go see David. And he just lights up when he sees her. He lights up when he sees the children. The 6-year-old is not here. And he needs that stimulation in his life. It's getting pretty dull at our house. We're getting older. We don't do the things that we used to do. We're not about to walk away from our son. We want him next to us because we want him with us. We want to be able to go, stick him in his wheelchair, bring him over. Come on, Dave, let's have dinner. Stay overnight with us tonight. We want to be there, and we're not walking away. And also, Kim and her family, they're going to need breaks from David. So we will be their break. We will be there to help them when they're tired and they need a change. And so it's a very interdependent relationship that we have. And it's unique. And so the house needs to be a certain size because they happen to have 5 girls. And we wanted it to meet everyone's needs as well as possible. And I thought with the plan, the amount of effort that went into the house design, I think we've come up with something that can work.
The Zoning Board of Appeals felt they needed further clarification from the town's building commissioner, and they voted to continue the meeting until September 24th.
Aye. Okay, ordered that appeals number 2008 48 and 49 be continued to September 24th at 7:05.
Langobile met with John Gleason of the Recreation Department to talk about fall programs.
We want to start talking to John today about a new program that the Recreation Department is sponsoring, and that's the Cardboard Boat Regatta. What is it?
Last year I went to the National Park and Rec Conference in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I got this great idea. Other communities out there in the U.S. do this cardboard boat regatta, which you take your ordinary average cardboard and you put it together and you build a boat, and have to paddle themselves a certain distance and back around the buoy, and hopefully their boat will not sink or crash.
How do you, is it cardboard, or what do they put, duct tape around the side?
Yeah, we have information out on the school, to all the schools, and hopefully we can get it out to the rest of the people in town. But it's just cardboard, duct tape. You really can't use any like synthetic materials. It's all just some simple basic materials to build a boat. And on the flyers that we have out, there's a little website at the bottom where we have information about how to build the boat.
Tell me, when is the Cardboard Boat Regatta, and are there trials?
It is Sunday, October 5th, so it gives us some time to promote the event. It's at Veterans Beach, and it starts in the morning. It's I think we're going 5th and 6th grade and above, all the way to adults. The cost is minimum. And it should just be a great family event.
Tell me all about, if you would please, volleyball.
Volleyball. We have volleyball for 3rd and 4th grade and up, all the way to adults. 3rd and 4th grade volleyball is on Saturdays from 11:30 to 12:30. It's for 3rd and 4th graders, boys and girls. And I get the high school varsity team, JV team, and some of the freshman players to help me coach the kids. It's a great program. Right after that, we have 7th and 8th grade volleyball at Barnstable High School. Immediately following that,
That's on Saturdays.
it's on Saturdays, and that's at the Barnstable Fieldhouse. During the week, we have a program for 5th and 6th graders. We have a program that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Wednesdays and Fridays. They can choose which 2 days they'd like to do, and it's right after school. So as soon as the kids get out of school, they just walk right down to the gym, and we start playing volleyball.
And for those of us who are out of middle school and out of high school, what about adult volleyball?
Yeah, we have adult volleyball starting October 15th, Wednesday nights at the Horace Mann Charter School, I think from 6:30 to 8:30 at night. Last year we did it for the first time, and we had a great response. We'd have about 15 to 20 adults every Wednesday night, and just had a blast. We would pick teams there on site, so whoever showed up, we'd split up into teams and made them as equal as we could, and we just had a blast.
And it's co-ed.
It's co-ed, men and women, all ages too. On the flyer it says 21 and up, but pretty much anyone out of high school, if they're around going to 4Cs or whatnot. So it's pretty much, just adults out of high school wanting to play some volleyball at night.
And what would it cost anybody to play adult volleyball?
It's a minimal fee. You can, if you're a resident, I think it's $50 for the whole season. It's 20 weeks long. So for the 20 weeks, it's just $50. And if you just not want to spend the whole $50 each day that you go, I think it's just $3. So, if you just want to play a couple times, it's just $3 every time you show up to pay for the staff that's there.
Tonight's weather will be clear and chilly, temperatures in the mid-50s. Friday will be sunny and a little warmer with temps in the 70s. The days are getting shorter. Tonight's sunset will be at 7 p.m.
On the meeting front, tonight, the Charter Commission will meet at 7 o'clock here at Barnstable Town Hall. I'm Len Gobiel.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Chartrand.